Good afternoon, class, and welcome to this Audacity tutorial. Audacity is a simple piece of audio editing software, and getting it is fairly simple. Step one is to open up your favorite web browser. In this case, I have Firefox, and go to your favorite search engine. In this case, I'm going to use Google because it is most popular and common. Once you are at your favorite search engine, you're just going to type in Audacity. Audacity. There we go. I can type, I swear. And we'll press enter to search. And here we are. This on Google will be your first hit, and you can see headphones with lightning and all that. And as you can see here, we have the Audacity free open source cross-platform audio software, and we're going to hit download. That'll take us to the download page. And on the download page, you can see that it's available for Linux, Mac OS, and Audacity for Windows, which is what we will be primarily playing with today because this is a Windows computer. There's a caveat for Mac, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So we're going to say we want the Windows version. And we'll get this lovely page that talks about all the features, but it tells us to left-click on the Audacity installer below to go to FossHub, and so that's this here, Audacity 2.3.3 installer. So we're going to click. And as you can see, that brings us to FossHub, which is an independent hosting site for open source software. Open source software often is hosted on third-party sites, so this is perfectly legit. And as you can see, you've got our versions for Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. And since we've got a Windows machine, here again, we're going to go to the Windows version. We're going to tell it to save. Again, this is Firefox, so downloads will appear up here. If it's in Chrome, obviously downloads will be down here. But wherever they are, you want to go ahead and click on it once it's successfully downloaded. Don't worry, the computer's working. It's just a little computer, a little transformable tablet thing. Can be a little slow on some things. And here we go. So you should get an installer, whether you're on Windows or Mac, that looks like this. So you can select your language, and we're going to have English. And here we go. We'll get our setup in Windows. So you want to just go say next to start setup. You can click next through information. I like to leave the default directory, so we can just click next through destination location. And this allows us to create a desktop shortcut if we wanted, which I do, so I'll leave that checked. And this is just a summary page to ask you if you're ready to install, which we are, so you click install. Now, while this is installing, I want to talk to you about macOS, because this may be a challenge for some of you. macOS Catalina specifically has some issues with legacy software, older software, otherwise known as. Oh, hold on a second. We have a minor issue here following out. Using files that need to be set up. Audacity cross-platform. Yeah, so if you do get this error for whatever reason, just make sure you click next to automatically close the applications. And the applications should begin to close on their own. Though you may have to double check. Yes, we do want to save that for closing. Actually, no, I'm sorry. We don't want to save that for closing. No. Okay. There we go. Excellent. We're back on track here. You should not have that problem, but if you do, you know how to deal with it now. And if you still have issues, please let me know. As I was saying, macOS Catalina has some issues with older applications. Audacity is one of those. So if you have macOS Catalina, you are going to be unable to use Audacity on your computer. Now, I know that may make recording your voice a little bit difficult, so if you are one of those folks who has this issue, please email me and we will figure out an alternative solution. I should be able to take you through using a different application, possibly GarageBand or something similar. And we shall hope that Audacity is able to fix these issues in future. Just in time, you get this little information box. click next, and then we're ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and launch Audacity. Look, we've got our little very comforting box there. All right, and here we are. This is Audacity again, very clean, simple interface. And starting a recording is actually as easy as going up to this red button. Yes, we do want you to press the red button and pressing the button. Check 1, 2, 3. Check, check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can just press this button right here. Stop. And you can barely hear it because I am a little far away from it, but if you are sitting at a proper distance from your computer, that will be able to pick up your voice just fine. And you can see that when you play it back, you get a little bit of level here, meaning you've got sound coming out, even if it's a little hard to hear it through your speakers. Now, if you try to record your voice and it doesn't pick up, I would suggest use this drop down here to change from mono to stereo. Some laptop mics are stereo, some of them are mono. Mine is mono, so we're going to stay on mono for the mono moment. And so that's how you would do that. Again, just press the red button. Oop, there we go. And it will start recording you. There you go. If you need to get rid of something, just click select and press the delete key. All right, very, very simple. Now, however, you have everybody's recorded everything, and it's time to knit things together. Well, that can be a little tricky. So to make life easy on your audio editor, I'm going to suggest doing something. So I'm going to suggest doing something called a sync. And a sync is pretty simple. It's basically putting a marker in your audio track, in your audio recording, to make it easy to line up everybody's audio. A simple way to do that is to have everybody clap really loudly at the same time. So let's say you're in your group talking on Skype or Google Meet or whatever you're using. And you have one person in your group say, all right, everyone, let's do a sync. 1, 2, 3, sync. And on 3 or on sync, everybody would clap their hands at the same time. So that when you're going back and editing it, even if you have tracks of different lengths, as long as you line up that clap, you're going to be fine. Please shoot me an email if that's unclear. I think it's just an important little bit of recording technique for you. So here again, before you start your recording session, go ahead and have everybody in your group do a sync. So that's everybody goes 1, 2, 3, sync, and claps at the same time. Make sure also to have your headphones on when you are doing this recording work, because that is going to mean that only your voice is captured in the microphone, not everybody else's. So it's going to make it much easier to line everybody up that way. So once you've done your sync, once you've done your recording, you send them to one person to be combined together. So we're just going to quit out of this for a moment here, and we will reopen Audacity. And say I'm the audio editor person for my group. I'm going to go and open up Audacity. And wait for that to come up here. Very nice. And I want to grab all of my group's audio files. So let's assume that I was in a 3-person group. And so I have tracks from all of my 3 group members. And what I can do is I can just drag and drop them in. There we are, nice and easy. You can see all, at least 2 of them, and it's kind of cool. You can actually shrink the track views. So each recording, each audio file can be shrunk down a bit so that everybody will be visible on screen. Whoa, that's a little too much there. There we go. There we are. Excellent. Let's listen to what that sounds like a little bit here. Okay. All right, sync. All right, you can hear right there where there was a bunch of click, click, click. that was a bunch of syncs. They're a little out of sync right now, which means we need to move the tracks around to get all the syncs to line up. So to move a track, you just grab this little double arrow guide. It's the time shift tool. Click on that, and then we can move things about. So you can see here, that's a sync and that's a sync. So these two need to line up. So we're going to try dragging this back and forth, see if we can get those to line up a little bit. And just for the sake of ease, I'm going to move this out of the way. Just pull it way down the line like that. Okay. All right, sync. There we go. That sync sounds a lot better. So now let's see if we can get the third one lined up. The sync isn't as big on this track, and that may happen to you. So you may have to do it by ear. So let's take a listen here. Okay. All right, sync. All right, so actually you can see that little dot right there is the sync. So we're going to drag this down this way a little bit, see if we can get it lined up. That's pretty nice. Let's try to see what that sounds like. Okay. All right, sync. Not bad.
Hello, I am the professor. Hello, I am Matthew. Hello, some call me Ishi.
As you can see there, thanks to properly getting everything synced, all the lines went as they were supposed to. There was no overlaps, there were no weird gaps. Everything is the way it needs to be. Now, it's fine for you to go ahead and leave the syncs in there and whatnot, or we can have a second demo so I can teach you how to cut these things down, which I will probably ask you to do for the final. But until then, let's talk about how to turn these into files. So whether you're talking about your recording of your own voice that you need to export into a file to send to your group mates, or exporting the final arrangement here, which is called a mix. So exporting your final mix to be submitted to Scholar, the process is the same. You go to File and grab the Export menu, and you want to export a WAV file, W-A-V, WAV, as I like to call it. So we're going to click that. There we are, and a little save will come up, and you can save it pretty much anywhere you want. I'm just going to save this to the desktop because that's going to make it easier, and we're going to call it testing 1, 2, 3. We're going to save that there. Yep, and you can see your tracks we mixed down and exported as one stereo file. That means that all three of these individual files are going to be exported as a single thing, which is absolutely what we want. And this is kind of cool. If you were making like a mixed CD or something, you could actually name your different songs and add artists and track and whatnot, but that's completely superfluous for our purposes, so we're just going to click OK. And then we got a little progress bar, but that doesn't take long. And then if we minimize our windows here, there we go, and look, there it is. Sitting right there, and we can actually open it up in a media player. Groovy. Let's see. Can we do it? Are we going to hear anything? Can you do it? Come on, Windows, you can do it. Yes. Raise your phones. Groove is just about ready. The groove is always ready. What you talking about?
Sync. Hello, I am the professor. Hello.
Hear it.
I am Matthew.
Isn't that fun?
Hello.
And that file, you can literally just drag that into the assignment on Scholar just as if it were any other kind of file. So that is the basics of how you do this. Please feel free to give me a call during office hours or to shoot me an email at any time, and we can go over any questions or any concerns you might have. But until then, this is Professor Ishii signing off.